वेरी गुड इवनिंग टू ऑल ऑफ यू। मैं सीए अरुण छाजेड। मैं आपकी प्रैक्टिकल केस स्टडी आई एम गोइंग टू टेक द प्रैक्टिकल केस स्टडी। वी आर हैविंग टोटल 5 क्लासेस, so we can start in just 1 minute. So shall we start? Fine. So the pattern of practical case study would be, the first I will discuss line by line item, implication, and then we'll come to the solution. That would be the pattern. Okay. So let's say supermarket is a proprietary firm and a GST registered supplier in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. So please active in the chat. So I will ask the question or you have to give me the time to time input also. Okay. So on the right hand side, I have the another system in which I am looking your chat. Okay. The details of inward and outward supply and expenditure are given for the month of December 2022. Details of the outward supplies. Intrastate 45 lakh, interstate 15 lakh, and exempt supply 6 lakh. Here one thing is clear. One thing is clear. If I will say that there are two categories of the supply. In this case, there are two categories of the supply. Can you please tell me which provision I have to look into the same? In other words, I can say which provision, if I have the outward supply is taxable as well as exempt, can I ask that which provision of the ITC would get attracted? Very true. Very true. That if I have the outward supply which is exempted and taxable, 17 subsection 2 would come into the picture. 17 subsection 2 would come into the picture, which says that if you have the outward supplies taxable as well as outward supply exempted, you need to reverse your common ITC, and for which we are going to refer which rule? For which we are going to refer two rules. Can you please tell me the rule number? Thank you, Janvi. Can you please tell me the rule number which I have to apply? Rule 42 for input and input service and rule 43 for capital goods. Sir, why I am teaching in so much of the provision? Because these would form part of your working note. मैं जितने भी डिस्कशन कर रहा हूं, these would somehow form part of your working note. ठीक है. Let's move further. The details of inward supply, intrastate and interstate. Exempted supplies under GST. Now they are saying that there are the following common expenditure. Very true, Sri Ram. The freight paid to the GTA for intrastate transportation of goods. 20% of the freight was toward the transportation of goods not liable to GST. It means I can say the 48,000 regarding taxable supplies and 12,000 would be for exempt supply. Can I take the ITC of 12,000? Can I take the ITC of 12,000? 12,000 is the amount of expenditure. We know that there would be the 5% liability. Can I take the ITC? The RCM paid on freight for outward exempted supply. Can I take the ITC? Answer would be no. Answer would be no, because again the same concept. 17 subsection 2 says that if you have the outward taxable supply and exempted supply, you can take the ITC to the extent of taxable supplies. It is not blocked in 17.5. My dear friend, it is not blocked in 17.5. I am not allowed to take the ITC because of 17 subsection 2. To the extent of taxable supply, I am allowed to take the ITC. ठीक है, आगे बढ़ते हैं. Now my one question and very important. Do I need to reverse common ITC to the extent of taxable supply and exempt supply? Please confirm one thing, that out of 60,000, we know that there is two parts, 48,000 and 12,000. 48,000, the GST RCM is at the rate of 5%. Please tell me, do I need to apply the rule 40 to 43 here? Do I need to reverse my common ITC to the extent of exempt and taxable supplies? Out of the 48,000, do I need to reverse the ITC which is linked to my 6 lakh? Namrata, Sriram, Janvi, Viraj, Kushagra Gupta. The answer would be no. Why no? See, one mistake which I normally observe, that you have to reverse your entire ITC in this ratio. No. Do you need to reverse your entire ITC in this ratio if I have the taxable supply and exempt supply? All? No, sir. You have to reverse your only common portion. Why no? Absolutely, Sriram. Really appreciated. Really appreciated your answer. Because I have already apportioned the amount which is belong to taxable and amount which belong to exempt supply. Then to the extent of taxable supplies, if you recall the rule 42, there is a T, T1, T2, T3, T4. If the ITC is belong to the taxable supplies, you're not required to reverse ITC to that extent. So in that case, 48,000, there is no requirement of reversal. Absolutely correct. And 12,000, I'm not required to avail any amount because it is completely toward exempt supply. Now, this gives me one more clarity. This question, particular this point, gives me one more clarity. What is that? Sometime I heard that there is no RCM on transportation charges for exempt supply. But it says, if I am transporting the exempted item, there is no RCM liability. Make it clear also. Repeating once again, that if the freight ka payment is being made for movement of the goods which are not liable to tax or which are exempt supplies, do I need to pay RCM? Do I need to pay RCM? This is my question. Answer is yes, unless and until these are exempted service, like transportation of agriculture produce is an exempt, transportation of disaster or man-made disaster or any natural calamity, if I'm engaged in the transportation of goods, that transportation is exempted. So every transportation is not exempted. Transportation, if it is being covered in the exemption chapter, we all know, then only it is exempted. Correct? Now moving to the next. Telephone expenditure. Out of the above, rupees 18,000 was spent on the landline installed in the sales outlet and 12,000 spent on the phone provided to the employee in relation to the work. So is there any component? Is there any component which I need to, whether I'm allowed to take full ITC or not? This is my question. I can say this is a eligible ITC. It is not blocked, so I can take the ITC. And after that, I can say it is a common. Then we will look into the rule 40 to 43 also. The premium paid on insurance taken on the car used by the proprietor of the firm in relation to the work of the firm. Can I take the ITC? Can I take the ITC? Sriram, I like to discuss with you because you are saying that there is no RCM liability on every exempt supplies. Correct. There is no RCM liability. See, dear friend, I like to add only one point that in the GST. So I'll tell you something which might not applicable for your exam, but for your understanding, it is more relevant. That there is a notification 12 by 2017 central tax rate regarding the exemptions. If you refer to the serial number 21, which is applicable for the transportation services when it is exempted. So for every outward exempt supply, the transportation of that item is not exempted. You can refer this serial number 21. Like earlier, there was a 750 or 1500, which has been recently omitted. Okay. Then agriculture produce. Okay. Rice. So every exempted item, the list of which given in 2 by 2017 central tax rate is not covered in this transportation services exemption notification. So my only point that you cannot say that entire outward supply which is exempted, I'm not required to pay the GST under reverse charge. This is my only point which I like to add. We can discuss further also if you want at a later stage. Now it says that premium paid on the car. Yes, you all are correct that it is blocked under 17 subsection 5. Correct. You cannot take the ITC of the car. You cannot take the ITC of insurance, repair, maintenance, etc. Assuming it is means we cannot take the ITC of the car which is used for the transportation of person up to 13 seater. Okay. So obviously it is being used for the proprietor, then I can say it is also under the block category. Perfect. Then I can please answer this outdoor catering service expense incurred Diwali during Diwali celebration in the sales outlet. Can I take the ITC? Can I take the ITC? Very nice, very nice. That it is up to 13 seater ITC won't available. That is clear. Now this outdoor catering services expenses incurred during Diwali celebration in the sales outlet. Again, it is also blocked in the 17 subsection 5 and then clause B. Can you tell me when the ITC would be available? Can you please tell me when the ITC would be available on the outdoor catering service expenses incurred during Diwali celebration? Let's say when the ITC of the outdoor catering would be available. आउटडोर कैटरिंग सर्विस का आईटीसी कब मिलेगा, क्या मुझे बता सकते हैं? Absolutely correct, Namrata and Sriram, Viraj. That see, first, if you read the 17 subsection 5 clause B subclause 1, It says that outdoor catering, the ITC won't be available. Food and beverages, outdoor catering, ITC won't be available. Here there is a proviso which says that if you have the outward supplies of the same nature or as a part of the composite or mixed supply, you can take the ITC of all the above expenditure. And there is one more proviso. There is one more proviso after clause 3, after subclause 3, which says that if it is being incurred as a compulsion by law, if it is a compulsion by law for the employer to provide to its employee, like Factories Act. Factories Act says that if you have the certain number of employees or certain number of worker, you need to provide mandatory food and beverages, canteen facility, then in that case, ITC would be available. Correct. So there are two exceptions. It would be excellent. It would be excellent if you can add somehow in the shorter manner in your own language in the working note. Now the monthly rent for the premises of the sales outlet 60,000. Now what is all the amount given are exclusive of all taxes. All the inward and outward supplies made by the supermarket from or to a registered place of the business in the Gujarat. Inward supplies of rupees 50 lakh. Go back, go to the top. Inward supply of rupees this 50 lakh, 40 plus 10, 50 lakh, were used only for the taxable supplies. So it means this inward supply exclusively for taxable supply, and this exempt inward supply, the 5 lakh were used only for the exempt supply. So it means there is no common portion, and therefore I can say the rule 42 would not be applicable on this 50 lakh rupees. Correct, no? Absolutely correct, Rajiv, Sriram, everyone. Now, wherever applicable for the purpose of RCM, the GST would be 5%, and in other cases, the GST would be 18%. There is no opening balance. Okay? Subject to the information given above, all the other conditions necessary for availing the ITC have been fulfilled. So all the condition of 16.2, assuming it has been fulfilled. Now, what we need to calculate, you are required to compute the following. ITC credited to the electronic credit ledger. So we have to compute total ITC minus any common reversal, and then net ITC, which is credited to my electronic credit ledger. Common ITC available for apportionment, ITC attributable out of the common ITC. So basically, the detail is with respect to the ITC portion. Okay. Now, it also says you are required to examine the applicability of the rule 86B relating to utilization of ITC, and if applicable, calculate the amount of the ITC available for utilization toward payment of GST. However, there is no need to explain the exception to the rule 86B. Now, my dear friend, please tell me when it is applicable. Question number 1. Question number 2, how much I can use the ITC, and any one exception, that's it. So what happened by this practical problem, my theory is also being revised to a larger extent. Give me the quick 3 answer. Question number 1, when 86B would be applicable. Question number 2, how much percentage I can use as a ITC if 86B applicable. Third, that what is the exception, any one, to the rule 86? I'm giving you only 2 minutes. Okay. Sriram, only one point you have explained very well. No doubt about that. Only one point when 86B would be applicable. Only one point when 86B would be applicable. So fine. Let me move to the solution. We'll do one by one. So first it says that ITC credited to the electronic credit ledger. Correct. Let me calculate this. That calculation of input tax credit credited to the electronic credit ledger. I'm using the Excel so that it would be easy for us to perform the calculation. That is the only reason. ठीक है. (86B) is applicable when my taxable supplies is more than 50 lakh rupees, other than exempt and other than zero rated supplies. Absolutely correct. And if it is the case, plus I am not covered by any of the exception of 86B, like income tax more than 1 lakh for 2 consecutive years, like refund of Rule 96, tax refund of taxes paid, refund of ITC is more than 1 lakh, central government, state government, or accumulated already I have paid more than 1%. So in all these cases, apart from that, if my outward taxable supply exceed 50 lakh in a tax period, I am required to pay 1% at least the liability in cash. Very nicely now. First, what I'm doing, I am calculating the income tax, input tax credit credited to my electronic credit ledger. Okay. Again, I have to go back. And first is inward supplies. So I can say inward supplies. Here I can write value. Then I can write CGST, then SGST, and then IGST. Okay. What is the value? Value is the 40 lakhs. Please confirm everyone, is solution is visible to all now? Whether solution is visible to all, right? Or should I increase the font or something like that? Please tell me now. कोई भी आपका point है, kindly tell me. ठीक है. So first is intrastate supplies. I have written interstate supply. Interstate supply. So what is the amount? 10 lakh rupees. Correct. And it would be IGST and that would be 18%. ठीक है. So that is clear. Interstate supply and intrastate supply. Now next is exempted supplies of rupees 5 lakh. Exempted supplies under GST. So because there is no component of taxes, so therefore there is no question of ITC, etc. Okay. Now these my inward supplies, and then I have freight paid to the GTA for intrastate transportation of goods. Now please note here first point is intra-state transportation of goods. 20% of the freight is towards that we have already discussed. What is the total value? 60,000. So I can say 48,000 is the value I need intra-state. So I will pay Namrata, I have increased the font. Is it okay now? I have increased the font. It is okay? Sure, I can zoom it. Is it visible now? Is it okay now? एक बार confirm करें so that I can move further. Fine. So freight paid to the GTA for intrastate 20% was toward the transportation of goods not liable to GST. Okay. So I can say working note number 1, 48,000 because it is intrastate. So I will pay the CGST and SGST under RCM. I will pay CGST and SGST under RCM. Now, what is the working note which I should write? What is the working note which I should write? I can simply say the RCM paid on GTA services to the extent of freight paid to the extent of freight paid towards transportation of not liable to GST is not available for ITC. So you can also make your own language. I'm just giving you some guideline, that's it. Okay. Now you can, if you want, as per section 17, subsection 2, read with rule 42. Here I'm only using the word 42 because it is an input service. Had it be capital goods, I would use rule 43. Okay. Now, next is telephone expenditure. Correct. So what is the amount? 30,000. Out of the above, rupees 18,000 was spent on the landline, 12,000 was the employees. So doesn't matter, both are related to work. I can take the ITC of every component. In the absence of the information, I can say that it is intrastate supplies and liable to be taxed as CGST and SGST. Next is premium paid on car used by the proprietor, 8,500. So here I can say that please refer working note number 2. Okay. What is the working note number 2? I can say the GST on insurance premium for the car is under block category for transportation of person up to 13 सीटर. ठीक है. As per 17 subsection 5, in the absence of the information, we have assumed that car is up to 13 seaters. Any doubt? Any doubt? So I suppose if the car is more than 13 seater, can I take the ITC? Answer is yes, I can take the ITC of all these expenditure, insurance, repair, maintenance, etc. I would be eligible to take the ITC. Now moving to the next part, outdoor catering. Again, I can simply say that same as above. So here you can say working note number 3, and the amount is 40,000. Working note number 3, I can say ITC on the outdoor catering services incurred during Diwali celebration. The sales outlet are falling under block category by virtue of the section 17 subsection 5 clause B. Can we assume as the car is more than 13 seater? See, normally if the proprietor is using the car now, normally in the case, and it is written as a proprietor. Let's read the language once again. Premium paid on the insurance taken on the car used by the proprietor of the firm in relation to the work of the firm interested. So it is better to assume up to 13 seater. Why I am saying so? Because normally the person who is taking the car, like proprietor हो या कोई भी हो, वो normally car 6 seater 7 seater की होती है. So it is better to assume 13 and fall under the block category unless and until it is being specified that it is more than 13 seater. Fine, Sriram. Requesting everyone to please interact. Please make it an interactive session. So मुझे भी मजा आएगा और आप लोगों को भी मजा आएगा. You can raise any question. Say for example, somehow if it is related to any other chapter, I love to hear the question. There is no problem at all. Kindly raise the question whatever you have in your mind. Okay, but make the class interactive. This is only request. So fall under the block category, assuming further, yeah, or you can say except when the same is for outward supply, ठीक है. So अभी तक सब ठीक चल रहा है ना? एक बार कंफर्म करें एवरीथिंग इज करेक्ट ना? एवरीथिंग इज क्लियर ना? द वे ऑफ एक्सप्लेनेशन and the way I am solving the problem and way I am using the in between the detailed explanation, everything is clear? Please confirm, because this is your first class. So I am going to take all the 5 classes. So एक बार confirm करें, it would be clear to me as well. Then monthly rent for sales outlet. So it is 60,000. And again, I am assuming 0.09. So again, here also I will write, I would love to write working note number 4. What is the working note number 4? It is assumed that the rent paid is intrastate supply. Rather, I should say it is assumed that landlord is located in Gujarat and place of supply is also Gujarat by virtue of, so kindly excuse me for some spelling mistake. Okay. By virtue of section. Yes, Namrata, I know your name. I know your name. Great, yeah. By virtue of section, what is the place of the supply in case of the immovable property? What is the place of the supply in case of immovable property? The location of property. Sure, Janvi. After the class, after this class, you mean to say after this class, I will upload this, not this practical problem in which I am solving, but I will again definitely upload the PDF of the question. You mean to say the PDF of the question, right? Now, so again, absolutely correct. So here I am saying CGST and SGST. Now make the total. How much is the taxes? So the total ITC is 3,69,300, 3,69,300 and 1,80,000. Okay. So our first part is almost complete. Now I am moving to the second part. What is the second part of this question? Common ITC available for apportionment. Computation of common ITC available for apportionment. Okay. So first ITC as per above working. Now I can say computation on the common ITC available for apportionment. So I have to calculate the common ITC. Do you remember that there is a concept of T, T1, T2, T3? So this is as per the rule 42, it is nothing but the T. I have to reduce less T1, T2, T3 and T4. T1, T2, T3, T4. What is that? ITC exclusively linked to the non-business purpose. ITC exclusively linked to the taxable exempt supplies. T3 is the ITC which is fall under the block category. T4 ITC which is exclusively linked to the taxable supplies. So because all the first three are not there, I can say ITC to the taxable supplies. What is that? I can say that 3,60,000 is the taxable supplies. I can say 1,200 is only for the taxable supplies. Correct. So the balance ITC is the common ITC. Balance is the common ITC. Computation of the common ITC for apportionment. So I have to apply the formula on this amount, common ITC available for apportionment. Now, what is the third calculation? I have to calculate ITC attributable to the exempt supplies out of the common ITC. I can say computation of ITC attributable to the exempt supplies out of the common ITC. Without non-business purpose. Oh my God, very nice. Salutable. Thank you so much, Namrata, for giving the reply. Computation of ITC attributable to the exempt supplies out of the common ITC. So I will use again that how much is the common ITC? That 8100. 8100. Okay. Now, the ratio of exempt supply versus total supply. How much is the exempt supplies in my calculation? How much is the exempt in my question? The exempt supply is 6 lakh, correct? And total supply and taxable supplies is 45 plus 15. I can say exempt supply, I can say taxable supplies. So this become E and this become F. This become E, this become F. And what is the ITC attributable to the exempt supply? So you remember, this is nothing but the C2, and formula says C2 multiplied by E divided by F. So I can say 8100 multiplied by 6 divided by 66. So formula E, sorry, the F is the total supplies. I'm so sorry. F is the total supply. So 6 by 66 is the ratio which I have to apply. Sure, Namrata, I will explain once again. Give me only 1 minute. So this is the amount of the ITC which is attributable to the exempt supply, and I have to reverse this amount See, what is the common ITC concept, Namrata? See, I have to calculate the total ITC of my business. And as per the rule 42, I am giving the name as T. So let me explain here also. So the total ITC, I am giving the name as T. Out of that, certain component would be called as T1 if it is non-business purpose. ITC, which is exclusively linked to the non-business purpose. T2, ITC, which is exclusively linked to the exempt supply. Okay. Then T3 is block category ITC, like outdoor catering. We have discussed 2 case premium, that all are block category 17 subsection 5. Okay. Then the balance is called as C1, and out of the C1, I have to remove T4 also. What is the T4? ITC, which is linked to the exclusively taxable supply. So what is the amount? C2 is basically C1 minus T4. What is the C1? C1 was actually the total ITC minus T1 minus T2 minus T3. Once I have calculated the C2, then I have to apply the formula multiplied by E divided by F. ITC common, which is linked to the exempt supply. F is the total supply and E is the exempt supply. So in this particular example, which we were doing, in this case, what happened? The E by F was 6 by 66 and the ITC is 8100. As per the formula, it comes to 736, which I need to reverse as per the formula. Is it clear? Why I am reversing? Again, because of the basic concept 17 subsection 2, ITC attributable to the exempt supplies, I need to reverse. So 736 is the amount which I need to reverse my ITC. सभी क्लियर है? कोई क्वेश्चन? ITC attributable to the exempt supplies. Now the one more part is there, 86B. One more part is there, 86B. Okay. Now we need to calculate the concept for 86B also. Okay. Now I can say what is the net ITC available for utilization. This is the total ITC and out of which I have to reverse. So I can say this much of the ITC which is available for utilization. Now, last part of this practical problem. Okay. So the total sale kitni? I have to see the total sale. Intrastate. So what is the amount? Intrastate 45 lakhs. Correct? Interstate. So here I have to write in the working note regarding the 86B as the taxable supplies other than exempt and zero rated is more than 50 lakhs. Therefore, the tax liability can be Excel sheet is not visible, is it? Oh my God. Is it visible now? Therefore, the tax liability can be paid through ITC 99% and balance 1% has to be paid in cash. Okay. So this was my working note and so into 99% you can say. So this much of the ITC, this much you can use from input tax credit ledger and from cash you have to pay 1%. So now he has not told The problem is not told that how much is being to be paid through cash, but yes, you can say that there is no sufficient balance of the ITC also. Okay. So you can say actual ITC kitna hai? Actual ITC is 3,68,564 and amount to be paid in cash So from my side, practical problem 1 is being solved. Any doubt or any point you can ask. Otherwise, we can move to the next question. We can move to the next question. We will not calculate 5% of the common ITC to calculate the ITC available. So normally the ITC big question is coming either 9 to 10 marks or sometime it comes to 14 marks. We will not calculate 5% of the common ITC to calculate ITC available. So you mean to say non-business purpose, is it? Janvi, you mean to say that ITC used for the non-business purpose, is it? The D2. D2, correct? So D1, D2, we need to calculate. If there is a non-business activity, then I have to allocate 5%. Because the question is silent, there is no non-business activity. Hence, I can say that I'm not required to reverse any 5%. Let me move to the next question. Question number 2. MS Limited is GST registered company. During the month of October, company has the following transaction and want you to work out the GST output liability, admissible ITC, and the amount that will have to be paid in cash by the company to the government before taking you as a manager of the company. There is no carry forward amount in respect of any of the item to be considered for the purpose of calculation. Okay. Rate of the GST 18%, except GTA and restaurant services for which it is 5%. Amount indicated for all the items are without including the CSI element. Whether a supply attract ICS has to be determined on the basis of the details given. The company has indicated you that GST liability for October for the main product alone is 54 lakh CGST, 54 lakh SGST, and similar and 72 lakhs for IGST. Further, they are saying an eligible credit on the input and input service for the October is 1.45 CR as IGST, 20 lakh SC, and 20 lakh as S. Okay, which can be straightforward taken for the calculation. Okay, company has provided other detail which is not part of the above to you as under. Not part of the above. So the point which has been given below is not considered. So I can say for this liability 54 and 70, 54, 54, 72, and this ITC. Apart from that, we need to consider these transactions also. Now, first we will do the understanding of each point. There are certain points, and after that we will take the break of 10 minutes and then we'll move to the solution. During the month of October, the company offered a special discount on product, the sale of which it intended to discontinue from 1st December 2022. And issue the credit note to the dealer. So there is a company and there is a dealer and there is a customer. So company has offered a special discount of 25%. This product was lying in the stock with the dealer. So he had certain item of the stock, and the discount offered to the customer was borne by the company by issuing. So this discount has been, so the dealer has offered certain discount. This particular discount has been borne by the company. The amount reimbursed to the dealer is 36 lakhs in the course of interstate. Can you please tell me what he like to say? Can you please tell me any specific provision which can be used for the point number 1? Can you please tell me which point or which provision I have to apply for solving this problem for serial number 1? Giving you 1 minute, tell me the relevant provision which I have to apply for the serial number 1 in order to compute or in order to solve this practical problem. Anju Nair, can you explain reverse charge with respect to input credit tax and the taxability of output supplies? Anju, मैंने थोड़ा सा लेट देखा आपका क्वेश्चन. So are you there? Anju, are you there? सीरियल नंबर 1 को सॉल्व करने के लिए मैं कौन से प्रोविजन को अप्लाई करूं? दिस इज माय क्वेश्चन टू ऑल ऑफ यू. Absolutely correct. Thank you so much. Section 15, subsection 3, clause B of CGST Act. According to section 15, subsection 3, clause B, it says that there has to be the prior agreement on or before the supply, and ITC attributable has been reversed by recipient, and it should be linked to the relevant invoices. Linked to the relevant invoices. If all these conditions are satisfied, then you are allowed to exclude the discount amount from the taxable value. In other words, I can say that this credit note would be the GST credit note, and I am allowed to reduce my tax liability. So in this question, we will give the assumption that because of the we have assumed that there is no prior agreement, it is an ad hoc special discount, and therefore there is no prior agreement, and assume it will not be allowed to reduce the output tax liability. So this I will again I will write the note in the working note, and also I will not reduce my tax liability. What is my tax liability? 54 lakh CGST, 54 lakh SGST, and 72 lakh as IGST, correct? Here, if this is a GST credit note, if this is like all the condition of 15(3)(b is satisfied, then whatever the supply, whatever the value is, I will reduce my tax liability. Clear? Anju, एक काम करना पड़ेगा बेटा. You have to wait till the solution of this problem. Once my question number 2 is solved now, please put your question again. I will definitely give the answer in detail. Okay. Right, Mr. Panu Behra, Behra, जो भी. Sorry यार, अगर मैं किसी का pronunciation ठीक से बोल ना पाऊं, kindly excuse me for that. What is the next point? The company sold a van used for the personal transportation for auction. The van had been purchased at 3,20,000. So what is the cost price? 320. The depreciated value, so WDV, is 1,40,000. No GST credit was taken. No ITC. Very nice. And that particular motor vehicle has been sold in rupees 1,50,000. It is an intrastate supply. Now please tell me, the GST would be paid on 320, on 140, on 150, or on some other value. On how much amount we need to pay the GST? On how much amount we need to pay the GST? 1,50,000, 320, 140, or any other value. GST to be paid on sales, entire 1,50,000. Entire 150. Okay. Any other point? Any other point? Now there are two important points. I can say all the condition of notification 8/2018 dated 25th Jan 2018 are satisfied, and therefore the GST to be paid on margin value. What is the margin? The selling price minus WDV. Margin would be 10,000. See, why I will apply the margin method? First, because it is after 25th Jan 2018. Second, they have given the hint no ITC has been taken. Third, they are using the word van, which is nothing but the motor vehicle. Fourth, they have given me the written down value also. So assuming all the point, I am freely allowed to use the margin method given by the notification 8/2018, and the GST need to be paid on 10,000. However, you may say that I will pay the GST on entire 150 and give the same in the working note, that the GST can be paid on the margin value considering the notification 8/2018. So you have the option either 150 or 10,000, but please note, give the comment, give the proper comment in the working note. Is it clear? Next, company has the policy of raising the invoice separately toward the transportation cost of their product on their dealer at the time of invoicing for the product sold to them. Okay. So first they are saying they are raising the separate invoice for transportation charges. The company is collecting GST at the rate of 5% on all the transaction, and the amount is collected as a percentage of the value of the goods supplied irrespective of the distance involved. The amount collected during the month of October 22 towards transportation in the intra-state transaction is 6 lakhs and interstate is 4 lakh. Now the certain point to be highlighted, they are saying on all the transaction and the amount is collected as a percentage of the value of the goods supplied irrespective of the distance. What does it indicate? It giving me the hint that basically they are not the GTA. They are not the GTA, goods transporter. They are collecting the amount as a percentage of the value instead of the distance. And we know that there is a concept of composite supply. So I can say composite supply, read with section 15 subsection 2, and then I have to read the problem. What is this concept? Section 15 subsection 2 says, if any supplier collect any amount from the recipient, like packing charges, commission, etc., whatever the amount is collected, it will be included in the value plus. According to the composite supply, see, inclusion in the value is because of 15 subsection 2. Now, if I have included in the value, will it be the composite supply? Will it be the mixed supply? It will be calculated. It will be decided according to section 8. Section 8, the composite supply, mixed supply ka taxability. Suppose I have collected the transportation charges from my customer for my value of the goods because of certain percentage. And I can say that because it is not linked to the distance, so therefore it is not in the nature of the GTA service. Further, I can say they are raising the separate invoice and they are charging GST at the rate of 5%, but the 5% the rate is available only to the transporter. In this case, because of the 15 subsection, the value of the freight which is being collected has to be added in the value, and because of the composite supply, the rate which is applicable to the supply of the goods, the same rate would be applicable on the other charges, whether it is transportation, whether it is loading, unloading, whether it is insurance, commission, whatever. So in this case, the 6 lakh and 4 lakh would be calculated at the rate of 18%. Further, the security establishment of the company, cotton employee who had stolen rupees 2,50,000 October 22 bearing could not be recovered, and ITC has been taken at the 45,000. I hope it is clear to all that this ITC is fall under the block category because of 17 subsection 5 and the clause H. 17 subsection 5 and the clause H of the CGST Act, which says that any goods lost, stolen, destroyed, disposed of by way of the gift or free sample, ITC won't be available. So this 45,000 ITC has to be reversed. Companies supply food and beverages to the employees, and all the items are priced at 10% of the actual cost to the company. During the month of October, company has charged 50,000 to the employee. Assume it is intrastate transaction. Now, here the first point will come schedule 1. Second point will come explanation to section 15. Third point will come rules 20. Can you like to add something? I will use or I will explain these three terms: schedule 1, explanation to section 15, and rule 28 to explain serial number 5 and serial number 6. What is that? When you are doing the transaction with your employee, according to section 15 explanation, according to the explanation to the section 15, that employer and employees are employees and employer are a related party. Second, according to schedule 1, para 2, that transaction supply of the goods or services between related person or between distinct person without consideration would also be the supply. According to schedule 1, para 2, supply of the goods or services between related party. So employer employees are related, and therefore I can say that transaction between them would be chargeable to GST. And how the value to be determined? Section 15 subsection 1 says that money paid or payable, but this 15 subsection 1 will not apply, or it is not applicable in case of the related party and in case of the non-monetary transaction. So 15 subsection 1 would not be applicable in case when I'm doing the transaction with related party or when there is non-monetary consideration. Now, the rule 28, basically the valuation rule for the related party or the distinct person, which says that open market value, I have to pay the GST. So there are certain more clauses, then there are two provisos also, which I am not discussing right now. So going back to the question, it says that I have collected, employees से कितना collect किया? The collected is 50,000. It is equal to 10%. So I can say divided by 10 multiplied by 100. So the total value would be 5 lakh. So which is, I can say the open market value, and this would be chargeable to GST. And one point Namrata has very correctly told, replied that because it is not obligatory, so ITC would also be not available. Is it so? One point I like to add. One point I like to add. Or I'm asking the question, in this case, can I take the ITC on the food and beverages? In this case, can I take the ITC of the food and beverages? Let's say I am a company, you are my employees, and I have purchased from some party on which I have paid the taxes. Now I am collecting some amount and I have to pay the GST on the 5 lakh. My question is, amount which I have paid to my supplier for food and beverages, can I take the ITC? Very important question. I need the detailed answer. No answer. Fine. Listen my point carefully. I would be allowed to take the input tax credit. Why? As per circular 92, this is one of the good exception. One of the good exception. Circular 92 says if outward supply become taxable, if outward supply become taxable because I am paying the GST on the 5 lakh, irrespective of the fact whether it is in the block category, you can take the ITC. Circular 92 says that if your outward supply become taxable by virtue of the schedule 1, if outward supply become taxable by virtue of the schedule 1, then you can take your input tax credit irrespective of the fact it is covered in the 17.5. Please read circular 92 and you will get the answer. In this question, there is no information that how much taxes I have paid, etc., or whether it is in the same month or it belongs to any other month, whether it was in-house or outsider. I have not considered. In the absence of information, I can say I have to pay the GST on the 5 lakh. No information is being given for the ITC. Because I am not sure whether it is being purchased in the same month or not. Now in the next line item, during the month of October 22, company purchased 10 mobile on its name and distributed to the employee. Now they are saying when they have purchased in the month of October. So here I will question on the ITC as well. So company has purchased the 10 mobile and distributed to the employee for their duties more efficiently. The total price is 120. So I can say on 120, I will take the ITC. Okay. What they further saying, at the end of the month, company sold these mobile to the employee. Oh, now they are selling also. Company recovered 20,000 from the employee. Now all the concept which we have discussed, section 15 subsection 1 says that transaction value will not be accepted when you are doing the transaction with related party. Rule 28 says open market value you need to pay the GST. So here what is the open market value? 1,20,000. So I need to pay the GST on the 120 and I will also take the ITC on 120. There are two more points. Company registered office is located in the building which belongs to the local municipality. Monthly rent is 1,50,000 per month. Is there any liability on the company or is there any liability for this serial number 7? Any liability or simply they will take the ITC on 150, whatever the tax is there. 18% has been assumed. So only ITC or is there any other liability? So the local authority, local municipality, so I can say it will be covered under reverse charge. You can refer serial number 5A of notification 2017 RCM notification, which talks about if the property has been given on renting of immovable property by the central government, state government, local authority, then it will come under reverse charge. the recipient has to pay the tax under RCM. So basically, I can say this will create the liability to pay the tax under RCM. Also, it will be added to my ITC. The whole-time director of the company was paid the salary of the 5 lakh during the month. He was also paid 20,000 as sitting fees. Again, I can say the sitting fees would be liable to be taxed under RCM, but salary to the whole-time director, it is covered in the Schedule 3 negative list employer-employee relationship. Whatever the amount is being paid to the director, full-time director, I can say it is not liable under reverse charge. So on 25 lakh, there is no liability, but on 20,000, RCM would be paid and the corresponding ITC would be taken. Give the brief note wherever possible, company want to pay. Check. Next question. So let's take a break of 15 minutes. What I have to calculate? Work out the GST output liability, admissible ITC, and the amount which has to be paid by cash, company, government. Oh, so I have to calculate everything. Here I have to calculate everything. You will enjoy. So I have to calculate output liability, admissible ITC, and also I will calculate the amount to be paid in cash. Okay. So that we will do after the break, and the break is for 15 minutes. So we will resume at 7:40. We will resume at 7:40 p.m. So Ayaji. So we will take the break till 7:40. So uh, now we are moving to the solution to the question number 2. Right, Mr. Sriram. Company has to pay GST on RCM and also can take the ITC. Absolutely correct. Janvi has raised a question. In case of the composite supply, it is mentioned that if the separate consideration is indicated against each supply shall be charged as the respective rate applicable to that particular supply, and the same is not treated as composite. It will be ऐसा लिखा हुआ है श्योर जानवी whether the price is separate or single is it the condition of the composite supply? Answer is no. If you refer the mixed supply, then mixed supply says that price should be single. If it is a separate price, then concept of the mixed supply cannot be applied. But the condition, the pricing condition is not in case of the composite supply. So therefore, I can say the point which I have talked about will be the same. There is no changes. Any counter question you can ask. So fine. The first will be the GST output liability. Correct? So I can say computation of the GST output liability for the month of October 2022 for Messrs. MS Limited. Okay. Now, then we will calculate the admissible ITC. Then we will calculate the amount of the taxes to be paid in cash. Okay. So now the GST liability. In this case, they have given some amount. The GST liability for the main product alone. Okay. $54 lakh and 72 lakhs. Fine. And after that, it told about the ITC we will leave for the time being. That during the month of October, company offered the special discount. So now I will say that credit note given to the for reimbursement to the dealers for the discount given to the customer. Now, this I have to write in the working note, the reason for the same. The discount given, the post supply, as per section 15 subsection 2 clause B, is being allowed to reduce from tax liability if there is agreement on or before the supply, it should be linked to the relevant invoices and ITC attributable has been reversed by the recipient in the absence of satisfaction of all the conditions. The credit note will not be allowed to reduce from tax liability. You can frame better, but I have given simply the gist. Please note one thing, that this is not the language which you need to write. I am giving the concept how to write. You are not required to remember each and everything. You have to draw, you have to write in your own language. Okay. Now, second point. The company has okay, sale of motor vehicle. Okay. So now what is the value? The value is 1,50,000. Okay. What is the rate? The rate is 18 and it is interest. Okay. Working note number 2. What I will write in the working note number 2? Sale of motor vehicle can be chargeable to GST as per notification number 8 by 2018 dated 25th Jan 2018, subject to the fulfillment of all the conditions, like no ITC has been taken. Okay. The value would be the margin being the difference between the selling price minus written down value. Within bracket, I am writing as per explanation 1 to above notification. Okay. This is my additional I can say comment here. I have the choice that I will pay the GST on simply 10,000, or I can pay on the transaction value, and I am writing in the working note. Next, company has a policy of the raising the invoices separately toward the transportation cost of their product on their dealer at the time of invoicing. Invoices raised separately for transportation cost. Okay. Now I will again write the working note number 3, and what is the value? The value is 6 lakh interest rate total. I can say first I will write 6 lakh and then 4 lakh. This would be intra, so I can say this much of the amount, and this would be inter. Go to the working note number 3. So working note number 3 says that here I will take some language from here. In the given case, the transportation charges being collected irrespective of the distance further as per section 15 subsection 2 clause B of CGST Act. The amount collected from the recipient for will be added in the value. Now the inclusion may be this inclusion will be considered as composite supply and chargeable to GST as per the rate applicable to principal supply as per section 8 of CGST Act. This is important to note that price should be single is the condition of composite supply of mixed supply, not the condition for composite supply. So please, again, I am requesting that I am typing here, so therefore you may feel that some spelling is not correct, so kindly excuse for that. ठीक है, यहां तक ठीक है, एक बार कंफर्म करना. Till now is it okay? Till now is it okay? Sir, will the recording of the problem solving session be made available by BOS? Anju, I think it is available. It is available. I think they are not restricting any recording. They are not restricting any recording, and it is available on the YouTube also. You can watch. यहाँ तक ठीक है ना? कोई concern, any problem, any point? I hope everything is okay. So this is reversal of ITC. This is reversal of ITC. We will again come to this point. ठीक है. Again, the company supplied the food and beverages to employees, and all the items are ठीक है. Supply of food and beverages to employee. Again, I will write working note number 4. Okay. So what is the amount? They are saying 50,000 divided by 10 multiplied by so. So the amount would be 5 lakh, and I am assuming it is obviously intrastate supply. So the 45,000 would be chargeable. Okay. What I have to write in the now, as per the explanation to section 15 of CGST Act, the employer and employee are related parties. Further, as per section 15 subsection 1 GST, transaction between a related party will not be taxable as per the transaction value. Here, the valuation rules will come into the picture, and as per rule 28, the open market value will be the amount on which GST need to be levied. In the given case, 10% represent the rupees 50,000. Therefore, the open market value will be 50,000 divided by 10 multiplied by so equal to 5 lakhs. Now let's move to the next point. It says that the company during the month of October, the company purchased 10 mobiles. So now please note, they have purchased in the month of October. So we will consider ITC as well as tax liability also. Correct. So the 10 mobile has been sold to employees, intrastate transactions. So almost same. Supply of mobile to employees, working note number 5. I can say 10 lakh rupees. No, sorry, amount is 120. Intrastate supply. What is the working note 5? As explained in working note number 4, the sale of mobile to employee would be chargeable to GST on open market value. That's it. I will not repeat everything again because I have already explained. So I've given the cross reference. That's it. Okay. What is the next para? To company. So, sorry. The company's registered office is located here. The point is tax liability under RCM and okay. So tax liability under RCM. I will simply put into the rent of registered office which belongs to the local municipality. 1,50,000 and correct. So working note number 6. In case of renting of immovable property given by the central government, state government, local authority, etc. chargeable to GST under RCM if the recipient is registered person as per serial number. See, these notification number, these section number, rules number is not so much important. If you remember, you can write, otherwise you can ignore. If the concept is clear now, then excellent. What happened? Sometime you can put some notification section and might be it is not correct. It will be in trouble. You will be in trouble. Okay. So it is advisable only when you are sure, then to write, otherwise ignore. And notification is also not in the your syllabus, so you can simply ignore. Okay. So what is the next? The full-time director. So setting fees paid to director. Okay. Working note number 7. And what is the amount? 24. In the note number 7, what we can write that setting fees paid to the director is covered under reverse charge. However, salary paid to the full-time director is not covered under RCM as it is employer-employee relationship and part of employment contract, which is out of GST as per schedule 3. So this schedule 3 is I think clear to all, so that you may write. Okay. What is the next point? So we have completed this working note. Full-time salary paid to the full-time director is not covered under RCM. Yes, perfect. If we write notification number, then no. There would be no additional marks for the notification number to the extent of my knowledge. So there will be no extra mark if you write the notification number. No, nothing. The concept should be correct and the calculation should be correct. That's it. ये मैं आपको इसलिए लिखा रहा हूं यहां पर. Why I am writing here if it is not important? I am writing here so that in future if you have any doubt, so you can cross check regarding the correctness of my मतलब कि base or my justification. You can also cross check. Na, we all are the doing the practical problem. So how I have derived? So I am giving the section ka number, rules ka number, so that you can also cross check in future. That is the only reason. That you can write. Yes. Suppose if you not write the, like I was saying that third proviso to this clause of section this, of subsection this, of section etc. Like 17 subsection 5 clause B sub clause 1 ka proviso. If you not remember, then can you write 17.5? Absolutely correct. There is no harm, because somehow it is the part of section 17. Somehow it is the part of section 17 subsection 5. So if you not remember exactly clause sub clause, you can write 17.5 for the block credit, no problem. That is absolutely fine. एक मिनट देना मेरे को. Give me only 1 minute. Fine. Shall we move now? So now the question we have completely discussed. Now calculate the टोटल टैक्स लाइबिलिटी कितना हुआ ऑन आउटपुट टैक्सेबल सप्लाईज? Is it okay till now? So total tax liability on outward supplies, total tax liability under RCM on inward supply, correct? Fine. Now we will calculate the ITC available. Okay. Now we will calculate the ITC available. Now admissible input tax credit. Computation of admissible input tax credit. Okay. First, some amount that they have given now. Eligible credit on input service for the month of October 2022. How much is the CGST? 20 lakhs. 20 lakhs, and here it would be 1.45 crore. Okay. Now, so the first point that we have discussed, this security establishment of the company, stolen bearing. ITC blocked stolen bearing. What was the amount? IGST 45,000. Working note number 8. Simply what we can write, ITC on goods lost, stolen is fall under block category as per section 17 subsection 5 clause H of CGST Act. सॉरी यार, ये थोड़ा सा कैप्स ऑन रहेगा, ठीक है. Now next point is ITC blocked in the, ठीक है. Next point is company food and beverage is not sure during company purchase the 10 mobile, ठीक है. Purchase of 10 mobiles, ठीक है. So what was the value? 1,20,000, and distributed perform duties more efficiently to the company. Total price is 1,20,000. And assuming it is a CGST, SGST, and 0.09, 0.09. So fine. Now, what is the next? ITC of RC. Okay. You can again simply say the total ITC is total ITC available is 20.26, something like that, 20.1.4455. No problem. Now the third calculation, third point is amount that will have to paid in cash by the company to the government. Now you have the total tax liability. So मैं एक बार क्या करता हूं, let me hide this one. So I will prefer to use like another Excel sheet. Okay, I'll prefer to use another Excel sheet, and in which I will show you the total tax liability is how much. Now this you have to tell me. I think we can. See what is the better way. So you use in the first time in the solving the problem, you can use first time full word like reverse charge mechanism, and within bracket you can say hereinafter referred as RCM. Only one time you can use the input tax credit, within bracket you can write hereinafter referred as ITC. So likewise you can use. I think there is no harm because these nomenclature are being accepted by sometime in the notification, used in the notification also by CBIC. So I find there is no problem at all. But to better, you can also use in this manner to have the safer side. Please tell me how much amount I have to pay in cash. And one thing we know that RCM liability will always be discharged in cash. So I have calculated for RCM. Now you all need to calculate and tell me for this tax liability. So you have in front of you the total ITC. You have in front of you the total tax liability other than RCM. Now you please calculate and tell me that this much of the amount other than RCM, this much of the amount we have to pay in cash. You all have in front of you. Everything is in front of you. एक बार please calculate and tell me how much amount of the IGST, ITC, CGST, SGST we can use from ITC, and the balance portion we have to pay from cash. We all know that RCM liability will always be discharged in cash. That is correct. Very, very important things. Please tell me how much liability I have to pay in cash under which head. Seems like the output tax itself is a huge amount. Very good point, Sriram. For the time being, please avoid the rule 86B. Either we have to put in the working note or we will apply here. One thing is correct. One thing is correct. So let's say if I will say if my liability is 1 crore 83 lakh divided by 18% mota moti on an average, I can say my total value comes to 10 CR, which is more than 50 lakh, which is more than 50 lakh. Absolutely, rule 86B will come into the picture. For the time being, avoid the rule 80 without implication of the rule 86B. Do I need to pay something in cash or not? Do I need to pay something in cash or not? Answer करें please. Namrata is saying only RCM liabilities to be payable in cash and everything can be. So like, let's say I've used CGST, SGST and the balance amount from IGST. And now there is no liability for C, for C. And if S has some liability, then they can take from S, and prima facie it appear that under the SGST we have the liability of 55.23, we have the ITC of 36, so 18 lakh has to be paid in cash. You all are requested to confirm, is it correct or something is wrong? Is it correct or something is wrong? As per this calculation, my SGST liability of 18 lakh to be paid in cash. Is it correct or there is a problem? Please confirm. This is not absolutely correct. So you may use this. There is no problem. But if you like to effectively use the input tax credit, then what happens? You have see, as per section 49 capital B, 49 capital A, read with rule 88A and circular 98. I am combining four things: section 49A, 49B, rule 88A, circular 98. By combining all these four things, I can say that before using the ITC of CGST and SGST, I have to fully utilize IGST, which I have did in this case. So there is no problem. But this is not correct or this is not effective way. Why it is not effective? Because circular 98 and rule 88A says you can apportion in any order, in any manner. So when I have the balance amount of IGST, I can distribute in any order, any manner as per my discretion. So what is the best way? So I will calculate the balance amount and 50 I will do to the CGST and 50 I will do to the SGST. What happened in this manner? In this manner, if I have the equal ITC in the C and S, then it will be better. Let's try. Now, C also needs some amount, S also needs some amount. How much they need amount? Sir, this is the liability. You have paid from IGST. So this much 19 lakh would be required, which can be taken from C, obviously. And same, the total liability of S is 55.23300. They have taken from 35.91500. The balance amount will be taken from SGST. But what happened by this? The entire liability of ICS has been utilized from input tax credit itself, nothing to be paid in cash. This is without Rule 86B. Now you may also think that if Rule 86B would come into the picture, then what happened? I can say the 1% liability to be paid in cash. So this much of the amount you have to be paid in cash, because you have already had one example on the Rule 86B. So I am not repeating, but yes, you can apply the Rule 86B, and this much of the ITC, less amount of the ITC you can use, and the balance you have to pay in cash. So there will be some maybe some calculation problem, or you may write in the working note also. I think from my side, the practical problem number 2 is also completed. Any question? So I will move to the third problem. Sorry, third problem. Okay. If 86B will not apply, then balance 94.3. Absolutely correct, Siddharam. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Great. So fine, let's move to the problem number 3. Cash and Credit Limited is registered with the GST department in the state of Maharashtra. So it has its registered office at Mumbai. It is engaged in the business of the production, manufacturing, supply, etc. Fresh fruit, vegetable, juice, fruit pulp, etc. It has made the following entry in the month of the March 2023. Okay. This much of the value, 1100 lakhs of the fresh fruits, vegetables, juices, and carbonated fruit drinks. The rate, the fruits and vegetable are exempted, juices and carbonated drink are taxable. The rate has also been given. And we also know that the Rule 42, Rule 43, Section 17, Subsection 2, etc. Everything we know. Further, for making the supplies of fruit juices, it has been used the service of the GTA based in Ahmedabad, who have charged them rupees 20 lakhs as charges for their services. Okay, such GTA have not charged any tax on their invoices. It means they are not opting forward charge. Rate of the taxes under RCM is 5%. In respect of the above supply, the company has received the following inward supplies. Fresh fruits for supplies like amount of the purchase in rupees 800 lakhs. And because fresh fruits and vegetable are exempted, so you are not considered 86B. Perfect. Then fresh fruit pulp used for the juices, your purchase and 20 lakh CGST, 20 lakh SGST. Similarly, sugar 66 and preservation 12 lakh is the IGST. Water for the fruit juices and carbonated drink, no tax. Administrative expenses common, marketing common. Purchase of machinery for the fruit drink manufacture. Now see, this machinery has been purchased for the fruit drink, which is taxable. So do I need to reverse any ITC in the ratio of the exempt and taxable for the purpose of machinery? Answer would be no. Answer would be no. Why no? Because it is being used for the fruit drink manufacture. It means it is not the fruits, it is not for the vegetable, it will be the for drink, for the juices. So because it is used for the taxable, rule 43, I am not using the 42, because for the capital goods we need to use the rule 43. Okay, will not come into the picture. Motor vehicle for the director, I will assume that it is up to 13 seater, so ITC not available. Compute the GST liability, ITC and payment to be cash and credit. So complete question. Okay. So we'll start one by one. So first we are saying that computation of the tax liability, computation of the ITC available. So this time I will not give too much. I will not spend too much time on the working note. Okay, but yes. Question number 3. Computation of tax liability of Messrs. Cash and Carry Thanam. Cash and credit. No, number का sir. Fine. Computation of the tax liability of cash and credit. ठीक है. For March or April. For the month of March, I think. For the month of April 2020. So you can correct at some place, either at the top or in the bottom. Some you can somehow it is being written. So intrastate supply or interstate supply, correct? It is an intrastate supply. Intrastate supply of fresh fruit, value is 1100. Supply of the vegetables, same amount. Intrastate supply of fresh juices, 2000 tax. Intrastate supply of carbonated drinks. $200. It is exempted. Correct. The first two items are exempted, and this is so Sriram agree. So that is why I told now. So you can write here April. You are right. Some typing problem, typing concern. So you can write either above belongs to April or bottom they are asking for the March. You are correct. Your understanding is correct. No doubt about that. So the rate is 6% CGST and 6% SGST. Okay. And what is the rate? Is 14%. This is the tax liability. Okay. So total tax liability on outward supply. As of now, there is no requirement of working note. Perfect. Any question? Now we need to, the most important part is the calculation of that particular ITC. So I can say, computation of ITC available. So for the saving the timing, I'm just copying paste entire table. ठीक है, मैंने सिर्फ टाइम बचाने के लिए मैंने सभी पूरे अमाउंट को कॉपी पेस्ट किया है, पूरी टेबल को कॉपी पेस्ट किया, ठीक है. Just to save time, I have just copy pasted. Kindly excuse me for that. You won't have that facility because you have to write everything right now. So this is the value. This is the CGST. This is SGST. This is the IGST. So correct. So everything is correct. ठीक है, ठीक है. So let me read once again. This is the common ITC. This is the common ITC. This is exclusively linked to the taxable supply. I'm not required to reverse any component. Motor vehicle, I cannot use any ITC because it is covered under the block category. Here I have to write working note. Correct. What to write, I have already given in the earlier question, so I'm not repeating. So you have to write a working note. You can easily write that it is in the block category. Okay. Any question? Now read the question. Now go to the question. Correct. For making the fruits, it has used the service of the GTA based in Ahmedabad, who has charged 20 lakh as charges for their services. Such GTA have not charged any tax under RCM. GTA of 20 lakh is the value. So I can simply say 20. Now they are saying GTA is from Ahmedabad and the party cash and carry is in Maharashtra. This working note is important. So let me explain here. As the GTA belongs to Gujarat state and place of supply as per section 12 subsection 8 of IGST Act is Maharashtra being the location of registered recipient. Okay. Hence, the supply is interstate and chargeable to IGST under RCM. This was important. So I have explained, and this is first time that we are paying the tax under RCM as IGST. Any question? For a supply, a rate is prescribed in the law, say 18%. But in our exam paper, so whatever the exam paper says, so they do not like to check what is the rate of particular item. They like to check the calculations. Correct. So you have to follow the exam instructions. So if the exam says that 5%, then answer is you have to solve the entire problem by assuming 5%. ऐसा मत करना श्रीराम, because clear है ना? So this is GT of Ahmedabad, and we need to pay the tax under RCM 1 lakh rupees, and that would be come under IGST. Okay. Let me go back to the problem. So this is being solved, and that has been resolved fine. Any? Please repeat GTA point. Okay, fine. I'll repeat also, and I will also explain. See, GTA or any RCM, wherein RCM means the tax is being paid by the recipient. Okay. Can it be IGST? Can it be IGST or always C plus S? Answer can be anything. In which circumstances it will depend. See, please note one thing. The chapter of RCM will only tell who have to pay the tax. The chapter of RCM is only telling that recipient will pay the tax. But the recipient pay which tax, that will not be governed by RCM chapter. That has to be determined by the place of supply. What does it mean? The place of the supply and the location of supplier decide that in the reverse charge mechanism, recipient will pay the tax as IGST or C plus S. Now, in the current example, the GTA belongs to Ahmedabad, Gujarat state. Okay. As per section 12 subsection 8 of IGST, place of the supply for transportation of goods. The place of the supply for transportation of goods, first point is saying if the service has been given to the registered person, then location of recipient. And second point, if it is unregistered person, then location of, I can say the goods where it has been handed over. Goods where it has been handed over for the transportation. So starting location. So this is not relevant in our example. The cash and credit limited is registered party. So I can say that because of this clause, the location of recipient, which is Maharashtra, will be the place of supply. Now we know that location of supplier is Gujarat. Location place of supply is Maharashtra. Now, as per section 7 of IGST Act, so I'm using the section number not to demotivate or not to give any fear. I am just using so that you would be able to check anything even after this class also. Section 7 of IGST Act says if the location of supplier and the place of the supply are in two different states, two different UT, one state, one UT, then it is interstate supply and IGST to be paid. In this example, because it is interstate supply, so the recipient will pay the tax as IGST rupees 1 lakh. Is it clear? Namrata, please confirm. Is it clear? Fine. So let me move to the question. Now here we need to use the concept of common credit. Correct. So I can say the reversal as per rule 42/43 for the common credit. Okay. Before that, I would say ITC attributable for taxable and exempt supply. Correct now. So then we have to, so I can say this is exempt supply, this is exempt supply, this is fully taxable supplies, So what I can say, the total ITC, how much is the total ITC? 28, 28 and 30, less ITC exclusively linked to the taxable supplies or block credit, etc. I can say this one. Sugar is also for block credit, completely taxable supplies. Preservative, again, water, there is no concept of tax at all. Then administrative and marketing, it is not T1, it is not T2, it is not T3, it is not T4. Okay. Purchase of machinery, it is exclusively linked to the taxable supplies. I can say this one. Simply. So this is the ITC exclusively linked to the taxable supply, etc. So the common ITC, I can say this much. And now this is the common ITC. How much ITC need to reverse? So I have to calculate the ratio. So to save the time, again, I am using whatever we have written in the previous question. So this would, by this I can save some time. That is the reason I'm using. Kindly excuse me. So the common ITC is, what is the exempt supply? In this case, I can say my exempt supply is 1100 plus 1100. What is my taxable supplies? What is my total supply? ITC attributable to the exempt supply. So I can simply say this multiplied by 2200 divided by 4400. Correct now. So this would be one, same amount would come here, and I can also apply same concept, 22 divided by 44, basically 50%. Correct now. So this much of the ITC to be reversed. Net ITC after reversal as per rule 42/43. total ITC. How much is the total ITC? $28 minus 1. Any doubt? Any doubt till here? And one more thing, the ITC which I have paid on my GTA. Now see, please note, why? Can you tell me? Can you tell me one thing? See, add the RCM ITC. So I have paid rupees 1 lakh. Can anybody tell me that whether RCM ITC will never fall for the purpose of reversal? Can you please tell me, क्या RCM का ITC will never fall for the purpose of reversal? Please note, the RCM ITC, I have added all these calculation has been done. I have not added before that. Why? Why? So is it that on the reverse charge, rule 42-43 will not come into the picture? Is it that point or anything else? Kindly confirm. I hope my question is clear to all. Very important question. I mean to say very important question. Why? Because your entire calculation would change after this answer. So might be I have also done some mistake. I don't know. You have to give the reply and then I will explain whether my calculation is correct or what is the reason that why I have not incorporated RCM ITC for reversal. Let me answer. See, it is not the case that on the RCM you are not required to apply the rule 42-43. You have to apply. But then in that case, why I have added after that? Because in this example, they are saying that use the service of the GTA for fruit juices, and fruit juices are completely taxable. Now, because it is used for taxable supplies, therefore, there is no concept of common ITC. Therefore, no question of rule 42 will come. Is it clear? Had this line not be there, either I have to exemption or otherwise I have to apply the rule 42. RCM ITC would also be fall under the common ITC. So now what happened? So this is the total ITC. Again, I can say same concept which I applied in the last. I normally prefer this much of this way to compute the tax liability. It is a very effective way. I feel so. What is the tax liability? 148. Sorry. 148. What is the IGST? Nil. And what is the RCM? I think there is only under IGST. No liability of C, no liability of S. And how much is the IGST? Sorry. Now, please tell me that how much ITC I can use, how much tax liability I have to pay. Here, you have to also give one exclusion that we are not considering the rule 86B because 296 lakh. Again, the taxable value of this particular, in this case, would also exceed 50 lakh. So you have to give the assumption that we have assumed that Rule 86B is not applicable, and therefore we have calculated other than or without applying the concept of 86B. बहुत बढ़िया श्रीराम, very nice, really appreciated that. So this is the last discussion for today. Please give the answer. It is very simple. It is very simple. Now they have only 27 and 27 CGST, SGST. IGST, you can give the entire amount to C, entire amount to S, or C or S in any order, in any manner. But the question last line, what is the last line says? Okay, nothing it is written. Fine. So I will use in any order, in any manner. I can give any amount to C, any amount to S, because here there will be no problem because liability is comparatively more and ITC is very less. So I can say that 27 SGST, ITC will be given to SGST tax liability, CGST will be given to the CGST, and I can be give entire 26 to C, entire 26 to S, half to C or S, any order, any manner, doesn't matter. So now this much would be the liability, and that 1 rupees we have to pay in cash. So the total liability under CGST, IGST 1 lakh, CGST 95, SGST 125. C or S amount can be changed based on this allocation. There is no problem. So from my side, everything is completed. First, please tell me, is it okay? The way in which we have discussed, we have solved the practical problem, is it okay? It is up to mark, up to your expectation level. So I can balance 4 classes I will take according to this. Otherwise, if you feel, nahi sir, please try to add this much, please not to add this, something like that, I'm very flexible according to you, whatever you want. So first, please give the feedback that is it okay to do in this manner, the balance 4 classes, or you want some changes, kindly tell me. Very right, Sriram. Your calculation is perfectly okay. No problem. From my side, today class is completed. Any point? One has asked one problem. Anju, are you there? Anju Nair, are you there? Are you there, Anju Nair? If yes, then I can discuss your question. It's a complicated problem. I will think and I will try to add. I think Anju is not there. Any question which anybody like to ask? Doesn't matter whether it is from IT or from any other chapter, you may ask. Next 4 to 5 minutes is for the question if you like to ask. आपका कोई भी क्वेश्चन? Namrata, this point we will discuss on the last class. ठीक है, ये पॉइंट सभी के लिए कॉमन होगा, हाउ टू डू द रिवीजन 5th क्लास के बाद लास्ट क्लास में डिस्कशन कर लेंगे, ठीक है। Is it okay? So fine, no problem. If Anju, let's say we'll discuss all the question raised by the Anju. Anju has asked the question that RCM generally. So if I have paid, like I have discussed 2 cases, I think both are covered. Let me summarize. RCM liability have to be paid. Now you can take the ITC if it is outward taxable supplies. If it is only for the exempt supply, you can't take any ITC. Suppose the outward supply taxable as well as exempted, and this RCM is a common ITC, then you need to apply the rule 42. So that is अच्छा, revision after daily classes. See, Namrata, जैसे today we have discussed ITC chapter. So try to revise everything through some flow chart or some. The institute has also been given some calculations. So try to revise all the provision, like let's say 15-20 minutes or like let's say half an hour. And after the revision, never see the problem ka solution. You try to solve the problem by your hand. You try to solve the problem by your hand. I have solved 3 questions. Okay. So once I will upload, I will arrange to upload in your login, then you can download and solve at your end. Then match whether your answer is matching with the solution. Otherwise, think then what is the problem, or otherwise check what is the problem. Is it okay? ठीक है, फिर यहीं पे फिर कंप्लीट करें आज की क्लास। In the next class, see, this is my normal practice, which I used to follow in every class. In the next class, the last 15-20 minutes, we will spend on the revision of the ITC chapter. I will ask the question, you have to give me the answer. The question would not be pre-framed. I will ask sudden question, anything which comes into my mind, you have to solve the answer. You have to give the answer. Okay. In this way, we will, in every class, in the balance classes, I will ask certain couple of questions at the end of the chapter or at the end of the particular class. So thank you very much. Good night to all of you. Ajay ji, from my side, this class is completed. You can close the session.